So in this video, I'm going to be talking about outbound appointment setting, which is mad. Outbound has a very bad reputation in the market because 99% of outbound messages are just terrible. They're terrible, they're spammy, I don't want them, you don't want them. No one likes getting these silly outreach messages from copywriters and short form video editors. But most of my sales career has been built in outbound appointment setting, genuinely. Since I was 17 years old, I've been doing outbound. I think over the years, I've got really, really good at outbound appointment setting, and I decided to take that to the test. Obviously, I've got my company Alpha Setters. What I actually went to do is I dove back into the field as an outbound appointment setter. I launched an outbound campaign for my own business, Alpha Setters. I launched an outbound campaign alongside of my own teammates, my own team members, the people that work for me in Alpha Setters. Not only did I absolutely crush all of my appointment setters, which is to be expected considering I'm the leader, I suppose, considering they're my students that I should be winning. But I actually literally did outreach for 4 days and managed to get 3 sales out of that. If the whole team altogether made 4 sales in 4 days, and I made 3 of those. And I was like, whoa, okay, so outbound does work. And I wasn't going crazy. I wasn't trying that hard. I literally sent 40 messages a day. Out of 40 messages a day, out of 40 outreach messages, I was making a sale per day. You know what I mean? That's a bit mad. So outbound definitely still works on Instagram in 2024. And I'm going to break down in this video, what was this technique that I used in order to do that? How can you guys make money for outbound in 2024? Whether you're a business owner, whether you're an appointment setter, how can you implement this yourself? Now, I actually had to think about this video. I had to actually sit down and think, like, should I post this video? Because it genuinely might change the market. Might ruin the market. Because right now it's like everyone's outreach is shit. I might give the source in this video about how to make outbound actually work, and it might actually have consequences in the market. Because the thing is with this high ticket sales space right now is everyone copies each other. Everyone, all the time, constantly copying. If there's one thing that's doing all right, then the next week everyone's jumped on board. And this is me sort of sparking that fire so that next week everyone might be on board with this. And the market might be a little bit of a mess. But I'm going to put this video out there anyway, because at least, you know, some publicity is good publicity. And at least I'll be the guy that ruined the market before someone else figures this out and decides to expose that anyway. So at least it'll be me that'll ruin the market. I can live with that. So watch to the end of this video, boys. We're going to be getting into the strategies. We're going to be getting into the source. Leave a comment. Like, what other videos do you want me to see? Like, what other secret techniques do you want me to expose? And yeah, let's transfer over to my laptop now. So boys, talking about outbound. I made 4 sales in a week doing outbound in 2024. And this is not 4 sales in a week. This is 4 sales in 4 days. You know what I mean? This number is going to go up in a week, trust me. So I started outbound appointment setting actually in 2017 when I started in door-to-door sales. Outbound gets a very bad reputation, of course, and rightfully so, because most outbound teams, outbound companies, outbound appointment setters, outbound offers, they're all just a load of rubbish, basically. You can go online right now and apply to at any moment to literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of businesses that are constantly hiring outbound appointment setters. You can go on LinkedIn or in Indeed or whatever job site, even like Facebook groups and stuff. You can see that people are going to be hiring cold outbound appointment setters. They're going to be hiring SDRs, door-to-door sales reps, outbound DM setters. And the on-track earnings will be listed as like 30 grand a year or something like that, right? There's so much churn in the outbound industry. There's so many part-time savages that this role is always hiring. It's always hiring because new people are coming into the company, they're not hitting targets, they're getting kicked out, or they're leaving themselves, and then they're constantly having to replace those failed sales reps. The on-track earnings will be listed as 30 grand a year, but I can promise you that in almost any of these companies, well, maybe not almost any, but any of the decent companies that are hiring outbound, whether it's door-to-door, whether it's SDRs, whether it's outbound or appointment setters, the on-track earnings is 30 grand a year, but I promise you that there will be people in that company that are probably bringing in 6 figures. Probably people in that company that are bringing in 6 figures, because it is possible. These companies are not allowed to just be like, oh yeah, on-track earning 100 grand a year, because that's not true. If you hit targets, the on-track earnings is probably like 30k a year. Most people don't even hit targets. But then there's going to be those guys in there that are just absolute savages. that they don't come in and hit targets, they triple targets. They absolutely violate the competition, and it's winner takes all. And they'll be making 100 grand a month. So this is me, 2019, doing door-to-door sales. That's my boss, my manager, Callum. Sales is for weirdos, basically. I've always loved outbound because if you're not making money doing outbound, it's literally just a skill issue. You can't blame the leads, you can't blame the market, you can't blame anything else apart from your skill, because no leads are being handed to you here. You can't blame the leads. We're not relying on Instagram inbound or anything like that. It's literally just a skill issue. For example, I did outbound for 4 days and I crushed everyone else on my team. Not to shade my team, because outbound is difficult, but it's just because skill-wise, pound for pound, I've been doing this for 5 years. I know how to do outbound. The reason I was able to make 3 sales in 4 days and the other boys weren't able to make any sales in 4 days is because, it's a skill issue. It's because I've got the skills and they're still learning, and I'm going to train them and I'm going to teach them the systems. So the on-track earning for these companies will always be set at 30 grand a year or something along those lines. But the reality is you can go into an office and there will be people that are crushing 6 figures annually, because the amount you make is directly correlated to your skill set, right? And that's what actually got me hooked into the sales space. I was addicted. Straight away, I was like, boom, found my thing. And it was a weight off my shoulders, definitely. Because it was a weight off my shoulders because my whole life, I had no idea what I wanted to do. No idea. Going through school, my mum, my college tutors, my teachers, they were always on my case, telling me to do my study and apply for uni, blah, 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 BS, matrix programming. And when I finally got into sales, it was like, boom, weight off my shoulders, because I knew straight away I'd found my thing. I went from living 17 years of life without knowing what I wanted to do to boom, found my thing. And I was so happy, like my whole energy changed. I was excited to wake up every morning. I was going to work. I was having a great time knocking doors and violating commissions. And it was also like being able to just analyze some of the other closers in the office. The closers in the office that were just completely balling out, making way more in a month than my college tutors even doing in a year. And it was just like, wow, this is the path for me, because I know I will outwork everyone. I will just fully commit this time to developing my skills, and I will be that guy that's balling out. So, I found my thing. So, outbound works. Outbound is always got a special place in my heart, because that's the majority of my sales experience at this point has been in outbound appointment setting. I've built many outbound teams. I've been team leader for many different teams and industries, blah, blah, blah. I've done so much outbound, right? So, and even Alpha Setters was built off outbound originally. Like, it started off just pure cold outbound. If there was no cold outbound, there would be no Alpha Setters right now. So I decided, because obviously right now I'm on my quest, I've got a mission called Project 300. You've probably heard of it by now. I'm on a mission called Project 300, and in order to complete Project 300, I need to get 300 Alpha Setters. My target is the end of the year. Obviously, if I don't hit it by the end of the year, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going until I hit that target. But what I want to do is I want to get there by the end of the year, and that's a big target. So I had to get creative. Okay, my ads are not really performing how I want them to perform. Content, I don't really like relying on content because it's out of my hands. I like things being in my hands, my control. Content, that's not in my control. The algorithm's got to do the algorithm thing. So what can I do? Oh, I know. Why don't I try an outbound campaign? I've not done that for Alpha Setters in over a year. So why don't I run an outbound campaign? And the results kind of blew my mind here. The results kind of shocked me, because I ran an outbound campaign for 4 days as a trial, as a test. And in 4 days, I managed to make 4 sales. And I was like, okay, I might be onto something here. So let me explain. So there's a few different components of this, right? There's a few different components of the outbound campaign. I'm going to explain how I did things in this video. Again, this genuinely, I'm not just saying this to sort of hype up the video and increase your perceived value of the video or whatever. genuinely, this could break the market. This could actually ruin the market. This one video could have a very, very, very big butterfly effect on the high ticket coaching space. But I'm gonna go through with this anyway. So there's a few different steps, but let's just start off with the main one, because what made this whole campaign so effective, what makes all outbound campaigns effective, what makes all appointment setting in general so effective, is having a good CRM system in place. This CRM system is called Alpha Setter Outbound Pro. Now, some cheeky guys have actually messaged my alpha setters like, yo, can you send me this CRM? No, no, that's cheeky, man. No, you're not getting sent the CRM. This is for my alpha setter boys. Alpha Setter Pro CRM, I coded it myself with the help of ChatGPT. And it's very, very, very good. And one very important feature of the Alpha Setter Outbound Pro is the split testing page. Now, that page in itself is nothing revolutionary, but a lot of appointment setters can't be bothered to do this. And I'm like, bro, you say that you're a savage, you say you're willing to do whatever it takes in order to be a successful appointment setter, and you can't even put numbers in a fucking spreadsheet to track the data of what works and what doesn't work, which is mind-blowing to me, because data has always been king. If you have the data there on a long enough time frame, you cannot lose, because you've got a massive spreadsheet with everything you've tried showing exactly what the market does like and what it doesn't like. You can message me all you want saying, Temi, what's your thoughts on this outreach message? Temi, can you give me some feedback on this message? At the end of the day, I'm most likely not, in most scenarios, not your ICP. I don't know what your ICP are thinking. I'm not a middle-aged woman that wants to lose weight. I'm not a business coach that's struggling to scale past 200 grand a month. I'm probably not your ICP when you're working as an appointment setter. So what I say about your message is most likely going to be pretty irrelevant. But by tracking the data, by actually just sitting here and putting your numbers on the spreadsheet, then you actually get like the numbers. You get literally logical analysis of what the market likes and what the market doesn't like. On a long enough time frame, you're going to be an expert on what your market likes and what your market responds to. So that's why the data is so important. And I don't just tell people to do this. Like everything that I teach people to do, of course, I do it myself. When I was doing Outbound, I'm using this myself. I made a separate sheet for every single member of my team. This is the Temi one. Temi A-Team Outbound CRM. So I made it for every member of the A-Team. And then we also had a master CRM. And that was a really good way to build team culture, actually, because what we was actually doing, and it'll make more sense in a second, but we all had like a master CRM. So we've got our individual ones where we've got the different tabs, the leads, the worked leads, the hot leads, the booked leads, blah, blah, blah. And then we had a master CRM where it was just blank page, like the master homepage, and then it was set of 1, set of 2, set of 3, set of 4, Temi. And then basically every time someone got a new lead, we'd put it in this homepage. We'd click on the little drop down saying whose lead is it, and then it would also get duplicated into whatever page of the setter it was. So in real time, whilst we're doing this outbound campaign for 4 days, it was almost like a leaderboard. We could see exactly who had how many leads. And I was clear. I was literally clear. In 4 days, I collected 17 leads. Second place was David. Obviously, David, you guys know David, a very successful student in Alpha Setters. He's part of my A-Team, of course. He's in my inner circle. He was one of the setters that was doing this outbound campaign. David was in second place and he got 10 leads. And then everyone else was, I think, 5 and below. So me and David cleared. I cleared, but David kind of cleared as well. David did good, but I cleared the team out when it came to collecting leads. I absolutely battered them all. And I think I sent the least amount of messages out of everyone, which is, especially as well, considering I had this one absolute stinker of a day here where I literally got one reply, but I battered everyone on the team. And that was really, really good for team culture, because every single day I was in the group chat chatting shit to everyone. I was like, boys, where are you? Catch up, boys, catch up. Oh, boys, you're making this too easy for me. And I was just chatting shit in the group chat every single day. And then it was just firing up. David is an alpha setter, right? And one fundamental component of alpha setters is that we understand that our competitive nature as men is our superpower. It's what's always built us as men. You know, in the boxing gym, like, I don't want to lose a sparring round, and that makes me better every single week. I don't want to keep losing. I don't want to let that guy beat me, and he don't want to let me beat him. And now that's going to make him better, and then it's going to make me better. So competitive nature is our superpower as men. And David was getting proper wound up by it. Like, tell this guy to shut up. You know, it's not over yet. We've still got 2 more days left, blah, 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 blah. David's giving it back. I'm giving it to David. And it's good because it motivated the team. Me being a cocky little shit and just chatting in this group chat, it motivated everyone to push harder. And then David, he came out of nowhere. Like, David was not second place. Yomi was second place, but then David came out of nowhere with 10 leads because it's the team culture. Team culture is missing in so many of these online businesses right now. All of these high ticket sales guys, they've got no team culture because, to be honest, all of these guys that have never been into an office, they don't understand that an office can never be emulated. That office environment is actually very, very powerful. I actually miss the office in many ways. The team culture that we had in the office was just immaculate. The vibes were perfect. We're competing against each other. We're chatting shit, and we're also helping each other become better appointment setters. That's what helped us perform in door-to-door sales. I've tried to, you can't emulate it exactly, but I've tried to emulate that as much as possible into my business, into Alpha Sets, where we've got a good team culture. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm in the group chat, I'm just chatting hella shit in the group chat, and it's firing everyone up. It's banter, lads banter, and that's what pushes us further. But yeah, so we've got this master CRM, and we've got our individual CRMs, and this CRM is very, very important. So obviously, split test your data. And then also we've got the 3 major categories here. So I've got different CRMs for different things. It depends on the campaign. I custom build it depending on what the campaign is. And if a student says to me, because we've got a base model, this is not the base model in this screenshot, but if a student comes to me, I'm like, can you make the CRM do this, this, and this? I'm like, sure. Because it's not as simple as just changing the names of the pages and stuff. Like, you've actually got to go and change the coding if you change anything about the CRM. And I'm like, okay, sure. Because I'm custom make the CRM depending on the systems that you have in place. Now, for this system, it was simple. We're doing outreach to collect leads. That is the purpose here, to collect leads. Sounds interesting. We'll get onto that more as the video goes on. Then, once we've got the leads, now we work the leads, so we warm them up. Once we've warmed the leads up, they're hot, they're ready to go, basically. Then we'd put them in for a call, and then we'd collect the cash. That's how the system would work. So, yeah, the number one priority, though, when starting in this CRM, is we're doing outreach, we're doing cold outreach to collect leads. Now, this will all make sense soon. But this is what I did, right? So I did 177 outreach. Now, I could take this one step further and actually find out how many people applied, but I can't bother to do that right now. I did 177 outreach. Almost 10% of those people converted into leads. So now let me explain. Let me explain what do I mean by leads. Instead of just doing outbound to call, I didn't do that. I scrapped that system. That's what everyone does. They do outbound appointment setting and try and get them on a call. I completely disregarded that. Instead, what I did is I actually added another step in there called lead. And this is where my evil genius kicks in, and this is where people are going to copy me. I know people are going to copy me. I know that. But this is what I did. Honestly, genuinely, I will give you guys the source right now. I did outbound appointment setting, and I wasn't with zero intention of selling these people. Zero intention of selling these people. Pure value. Everyone knows that you should lead with value, but what do they do to try and lead with value? They send a shitty VSL that is basically just a sales letter, trying to manipulate them to buy your thing anyway. It's not genuine value. It's not value. So what did I do? I actually led with value. So we did an outbound campaign, and every single one of my setters, me included, our task was to generate leads. What are we counting as a lead here? We'd literally just get people's phone numbers. We'd get them on WhatsApp. So we would basically outreach to people, giving away just free value, and we'd just get their WhatsApp, and then we'd talk to them on WhatsApp. We'd save them as a contact on our phone. We'd save their contact, and we'd just be boys with them now. We've just got them on WhatsApp. We're building an actual relationship here. We're not just treating leads like replaceable objects anymore. They are replaceable objects, but we're not treating them. We're treating them all as individual people to the point where, like, everyone, you had a job. Okay, for the next week, go away, do as much outreach as possible, and collect as many leads as possible. I want you to know all of your leads by first name. And if I message you right now and say, yo, what's Callum saying today? You should have an answer for me. I want you talking to your leads. I want you to make a lead list yourself of leads, and you know them on a first name basis. You know them. You're talking to them. You're warming them up. You're working these leads, right? Instead of just dealing with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cold outbound. And if they book a call, they book a call. And if they don't book a call, then on to the next guy. Nah. Get phone numbers, save them into your contacts, build relationships, work these leads. That was the priority here. So when I say I got 17 leads in 4 days, that's what I'm talking about. I got 17 new contacts saved on WhatsApp that were potentially interested in my thing that I'm selling. Cool. Once I've got them there on WhatsApp because they're potentially interested in my thing that I'm selling, I've not tried to sell to them yet. I've not introduced the idea that I'm selling anything. It's been pure value. It's been pure value, genuine value. I'm helping them. I'm dropping my number. I'm giving them my number. I'm getting their number, and I'm saving them as a contact, and they're saving me in their phone as a contact as well. It goes both ways. And then so far, out of these 17 leads that I generated myself, so far 3 of those have converted into sales. 3 of those have converted into sales. I've got another 3 of those that still need to book a call, that are going to book a call. The close rate, by the way, so far, I think has been 75%. I think 3 out of 4 sales calls have closed. So hopefully, another 2 sales from that. Like, bro, what you don't understand here is that we're not firing a machine gun anymore. We're not just throwing shit at a wall hoping it sticks. What we're doing is we're doing our cold outreach, and then we find the good prospects, the interested ones, the leads. We collect them as leads, and we actually warm these guys up. Because most people in the high ticket sales space, they've never worked in direct sales or any sort of other sales environment, whereas like this is pretty standard practice in a lot of sales jobs. It's pretty standard procedure that if you're working in B2B, you're going to be having multiple touch points with prospects. It's not just going to be sound. Yeah, let's get on a call, close, bang. If you're working in B2B, there's got to be multiple touch points. You've got to build a relationship. You've got to work your way in, and you've got to make yourself relevant to the prospects. You've got to build that trust. So yeah, that's literally what we're doing. Like if I had a lead there, like we're not just, getting rookie numbers here. Like a very high percentage of these are converting. So if you can see here, 17 leads to 3 sales, 17.6%. That's almost 20%, right? That's not the close rate that we're talking about here. That's booked and closed. Out of 17 leads, 20% of those have booked and closed. That's a very good percentage. And again, like I said, it's not even like we're just getting started. Out of these 17 leads, I've still got 3 people that are going to book in for calls because I've got relationships with them now. It's not a case of, let me send you the calendar link and they're just going to ghost me because we're boys now, basically. We're basically boys. Like, he's not going to ghost me because we're boys. He knows, likes, and trusts me. I've gave him genuine value. And then we can get him inside and then we can help him even more. And that's how the whole system has been working for us. That's what we did. We've changed the way we approached Instagram outreach. We've changed it completely, and it worked. I've never heard of anyone doing this before in the high ticket space. I've never heard of anyone doing cold outreach like this before, ever. But we've changed it. Cold outreach still works, but you can't be doing this, boys. The same tired outreach day in, day out. Tired of it, man. Everyone's tired of it. Hey, you're probably busy. Correct. I am busy. Bro, I love your content. Blah, blah. No, you don't. You don't even follow me. Yo, Temi, do you do anything with email? Like, no, go away. I know your DMs are probably full. I mean, that could have almost been a good message, but they get... I can't even be bothered to explain. Like... Hey, I know your DMs are probably full. I mean, that's actually quite an advanced sales technique where you actually, know what they're thinking. I get loads of DMs like this. And then you use that as a reason for why your message. I know you get tons of DMs I know you get tons of DMs just like this, but that's actually why I'm messaging you, and you make up a reason why that is relevant. But these guys, these appointment setters, they don't get it. They don't get it. What they need is they need to just go and just spend 2 years knocking doors, and then they'll get it, okay? But it's all the same shit in this outbound, man. So here's how we did it. Here's how we did it differently in order to actually make P's from cold outbound in 2024. Like I said, 4 clients in 4 days. That's mad. And this was just the trial run. You know what I mean? So yeah, split test the openers. That's the number one principle that you have to do here. So if we go to the split test the openers, we didn't even talk about this. But as you can see, here's how many total messages I sent. 57, 40, 40, and 40. The daily KPI was 40. You might be able to tell. Like the daily KPI that we had to hit was 40 messages a day. That's what I said to my team. So obviously I have to do that myself. Day 1, the reply rate, 22%. Not bad at all. I can guarantee that probably 90% of people watching this video are not going to be able to crack a response rate of 20%. But you've got to get creative. And I'll talk to you about creating a good opening message in a second, all right? But you have to be creative. If 99% of the market say the exact same thing, you've got to not be 99% of the market. You've got to be that 1%, the outlier. You've got to think of something different. Don't go on YouTube and type in good opening messages or good outbound DM setting or something like that. If you do that, you're just a dickhead. Because if you go click on a YouTube video that 1,000 people have watched, guess what? 1,000 people are sending the exact same message as you. That's dumb. You got to be creative. Use your brain. Think of your own ideas. Everything, all my outreach messages is always completely unique to me. Completely never seen before. And that's why it works so well, because it's different. You've got to be bold. If like, going back to what I said earlier about how you're going to go into a company that's doing outbound and there's going to be one guy that is just way outperforming the rest of the team that's doing 6 figures. That one guy, the reason that guy's doing 6 figures is he's probably doing something crazy that no one else would even think to do, that they probably don't even have the balls to try. But he decided, fuck it. I'm not going to be like the 99%. I'm just going to fuck it and I'm going to try something different. And it worked. And it's been working for him. And that's why he's outperforming all you. You've got to be original, right? So be creative, try different things and use the CRM, put them on the spreadsheet. So you can see here, 57 cent, 40 cent, 40 cent, 40 cent. Day number 1, 22% response rate. Definitely not bad. Day 2, 25% response rate. Again, very, very good. Day 3, went a little bit more boring. Long, direct approach. Dead response rate, 2.5%. That's a wasted day right there. But it wasn't a wasted day. That's what you need to understand. It wasn't a wasted day because I gathered that intel. Now I have the data there to show me, don't do that again. Imagine 99% of these guys in the market are doing this every single day. Their response rate is probably 2%. And they're doing it every single day and they don't realize that that's bad because they don't have any other data to compare that to. I had done that for 1 day and I know, okay, I'm never going to do that again because I know it doesn't work. These guys are going to be doing this day in, day out, day in, day out. Because they're NPCs and they don't track their data. And then day number 4, something magical happened, and I actually cracked an appointment setting message that had a 42% reply rate. I don't even know what to tell you, boys. They're completely original. I've never seen anyone do this before. And the genius thing about this message with a 42% reply rate is I found what I thought worked about this message and what I thought worked about this message. I found what I thought worked in the first message and the second message, and I sort of let them have a baby. I analysed, okay, what do I think is working about these 2 messages? And then I made an ultimate message and it performed beautifully. Couldn't have performed better. 42%. And it's a shame because I crafted that message and I've not done any more outreach since then. So next time I do outreach, I've already got a message there. I'm gonna be printing cash. 42% response rate. Boom. So split testing the openers, that's the first part that makes this all work so well, because once you have the data there, then you know exactly what works and what doesn't work. Crucial. Next step, collect the leads. Collect the leads. Now, collecting leads, that's what I said. you've got to provide value. I'm not going to tell you how I've been providing value, but you've got to provide value, right? So what I was doing is I was collecting their phone number. Again, 17 leads in 4 days, 17 numbers. Once I'm messaging on WhatsApp, I've escaped the cold DM matrix. I'm no longer just another cold DM. Now you trust me because I'm in your phone book. I'm in your contacts. We're talking through WhatsApp now. We ain't talking through IG DMs. I ain't another one of these scrubs. We've elevated. We're on the VIP list now, right? That's what I did. So I collected their phone number. From there, book them in for a call only once you've worked the lead. You want to work the lead and warm them up before booking a call. Once you've booked the call, boom, it's easy money. You just got to collect the cash now, right? But everything that comes before that is the hard part. The split testing, the finding a good opener, and collecting the leads. Because again, if you don't do this properly, if you're just another neek in their DMs like one of these guys, that guy can ask me for my phone number. I'm not giving it him. You know what I mean? Same with this guy or girl. I don't know what that is. Same with this guy, Mohammed Sad. You know, if he asks me for my phone number, no, bro, go away. I don't know you. I don't want to know you. No. So you've got to provide value. You've got to have. Let's go on to the part. So let's talk about actually making a good opening message, right? So there's a few things here, right? So obviously we've got the Aristotles Triangle, which we'll talk about. We've spoke about being creative. And also, something that is very overlooked in the high ticket space is that actually just use your brain and think of a reason for you messaging them. Sounds simple, right? Sounds so simple. But if I knocked on your door and you're like, what do you want? What are you selling? And I'm like, oh yeah, so this is what I'm selling. The door would get slammed in my face. So what I used to do when I was working in door-to-door sales is every single door I knocked, the first part of my pitch was, why am I knocking on your door today? Make up a reason. Genuinely make up a reason. So it could be that there's been a lot of crime in the area. Someone broke into a car down the road actually last night, and the crime rate's been increasing in the area, and that's why I'm knocking on your door actually. I mean, we've got this government scheme that will help you put some money towards energy efficient windows and doors. But the reason I'm really knocking on your door is just because I thought you might be interested in our new 3-point locking system that we put on our what were they called? Oh, what were the doors called? It began with a C. We had a special type of door when we was doing door-to-door sales, and with a 3-point locking system. So we'd basically, like, we would understand all of the benefits of our product. We know that, okay, they're energy efficient, they're noise, that they help with noise. Like if you live on a motorway, they help with security because they've got a 3-point locking system. Like there'd be all of these different pros and cons of our products, and we'd know those like the back of our hands. We'd know the products like the back of our hands. So depending on where we are, okay, if we're in some dodgy area, then we might talk about, you know, the locking system on the doors. If we're in a wealthy area, we might also try to scare them with the locking system on the doors. If we're on a busy main road, then we're going to talk, oh yeah, the reason we're knocking on your door is because we know you live on the main road here. We're actually doing a campaign in the area. Because we know that lots of people, there's a lot of people down this road that have been unhappy and had a lot of noise complaints recently because of all the traffic and the busy cars going up and down. We'd make up a reason. We'd find something that was relevant for them, but people don't do that anymore. People are just lazy. They don't do that anymore. They're just lazy. So yeah, actually make a reason for messaging them specifically. What you can even do if you're a real pro is kind of what I said earlier, is what you can do is you can find what is your prospect thinking as like an objection. What's an obstacle that you've got to get around? And then you can actually craft that and put that in your pitch. You can use that as a weapon against them. Like I said earlier, oh yeah, we know you get loads of messages, but that's the reason I'm talking to you. We're doing a campaign for experts in your field, experts like you. You get hundreds of messages a day. I know that because you're an expert. And that's why I'm contacting you directly. You can actually just find a reason to message them, right? And then also just be creative with it. Use your imagination, use your brain. That's what sales is. You've got to be creative, you've got to use your brain. And then you've got the Aristotle Triangle, right? So this is like principles of selling. I'm probably, I was going to say you probably know, but high ticket sales guys, you probably don't know. Ethos. So ethos, what's that? Ethics / credibility. So You need to make them understand that you are credible. You've got to sell yourself before you can sell the thing, right? You've got to sell yourself. Why should they listen to you? You've got to show them that you are a credible source of information. What's your credibility? My credibility is that I've been in high ticket sales for 5 years and I've done tens and tens of millions of dollars of sales generated for my clients in the last 5 years. That's my credibility. I've done multiple millions of dollars in sales for my clients. What's your credibility? Like the person that you're appointment setting for, what's his credibility? Has he helped over 50 people change their lives through his fitness program? What is it? Tell me, what is your credibility? Make the market understand that you are an authority. You've got to present yourself as an authority, otherwise they're not going to listen to you. You could, put a spin on that. But we'll talk about some more of the advanced techniques in another video, or maybe in my free school community on a group call, if you guys remember to ask me about this stuff. But we've got ethos, pathos. Now, we've got to get them emotional. I don't know why I've wrote that again. But we've got to get them emotional, right? Going back to what I said about the home improvement, I'd be knocking on someone's door and I'd be like, oh yeah, there's been a lot of crime rate in the area. I'm getting them emotional. I'm trying to get them to panic a little bit. I'm trying to instill fear. I'm trying to instill some sort of emotion. Whether they're on a main road and they're sick and tired of the cars, I'm trying to get them pissed off. I'm trying to trigger some emotion there. And then logos, then we tie it all together. I've done the same thing twice. We tie it all together with logic, right? Make it logical for them to take action. When you're getting a phone number from someone, like, again, I'm not asking them to cross a bridge. All I'm asking for their phone number, but what I've got to be able to do is make it logical for them to give me their phone number, right? There has to be a reason behind it. Why does this make sense? What are they going to gain out of doing this? You have to make it logical for them as well. Because even though 99% of high ticket salespeople say that sales are based on emotion, which they are also based off logic as well. Because especially like for a business like mine, where I'm dealing with men are logical creatures. Like, it's always going to be emotional, but it is also going to be logical as well. Everyone's always like pain points, when the reality is only 25% of the market are even in pain to begin with. 25%, like the other 75% of the market are not in pain. They either want current pleasure, they want to avoid future pain, or they want future pleasure. And sometimes some of your best customers will be the people that are not in any pain, they're in future pleasure. In fact, let me tell you that the people that are currently in pain, the people that have got deep pain points, are quite often going to be some of your worst customers. People that no-show calls, don't book calls, don't close. Even if they do close, there'll be a headache. Because guess what? If they have left it to this point where they are in deep pain, deep underlying traumatic pain that you've got out of them from appointment setting, they're probably an idiot. Because they've left it until last minute to actually seek a solution. They're probably just dumb. You probably don't want to work with them. Whereas some of my best appointment setters are not people that were in any pain at all. For example, someone like Chan, he liked his job. He was working part-time as a setter he was working a long time, his full-time job, part-time as a setter for over a year because he liked his job. He just wanted to be the best version of himself and make extra money outside of that. He wasn't in pain. He was chasing current future pleasure. So he was one of the best customers ever. Like, he was a superstar. So yeah, like, everyone always talks about emotion. You still have to tie logic into it at the end. Do you have a risk reversal? Do you have a guarantee? What value are you going to provide them if they give you their phone number? So that's what you have to do in order to actually do this effectively. In order to actually effectively execute this, there you go. Remember the Aristotle Triangle, be creative, and also have a reason for messaging them specifically. So, boys, a lot of sauce in this video. I didn't expect this to be a 40-minute video, I'll be completely honest. But, yeah, we'll wrap it up there, boys, because I've explained a lot. I don't want to overload you with information. Just make sure to subscribe, boys. And also, as well, click the link below. Free school community that you can join. We're going to be having group calls. I've got 10 course modules on there now as well. And I go into some crazy detail on those course modules. People say, like, oh, I thought it was just going to be like your YouTube. But nah. It's like genuinely like my YouTube is valuable. My free school community is even more valuable. And then obviously my paid school community is like, you literally wouldn't even believe it, bro. So yeah, that's all I've got to say to you boys. Subscribe for more content like this, and obviously I'll see you around, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep grinding.